You're hiding behind your logo. What does that mean? Most dry cleaners, route marketing, and your regular marketing fails for one reason: nobody knows who you are. They don't know who you are as a person. They don't know what your dreams are. They don't know what your family is like. And nobody cares about an anonymous cleaners. They don't care about anonymous businesses, okay? They want someone that heads up the business, and that is you, okay? And it's not as difficult as you think. And when I first started doing this way back in the 1980s, and if you're young, maybe you weren't even born yet. If you're my age, 69, you know what I'm talking about, the 1980s. When I first started using my personality in my businesses, they took off because people want to know who you are. If you want more route customers, but you act like a faceless corporation, that disconnect is costing you revenue. Okay, hi, I'm Greg Colosi. From 1996 to 2017, I built a route-only dry cleaner. No plant, just routes. I got my first 300 customers by knocking on doors, and I wrote a book, How to Get Route Customers Without Knocking on Doors, and you can find that on Amazon, and it's an author copy. I don't know why it is. I think I wrote this book way back in like 2010 or 11, something like that. Okay? So go ahead and get that if you'd like it. Everything I teach comes from testing, not theory, as you'll find out watching all these videos. Today we're breaking down strategy number 3, personality marketing. This fixes one revenue problem. Your dry cleaning business feels generic, and generic businesses struggle to grow route customers, especially in competitive pickup and delivery markets. California is very competitive. Okay, system number 1, stop being faceless. Your customers do not want to do business with a logo. They want to do business with this face, okay? That's who they want to do business with. They want to do business with a person, and that's you. And that's personality marketing. That's the core of it. Put your face on everything, okay? All the letters you send out to them, all the emails you send out to them, the flyers, the route materials, on your van, website, emails, everything. Put that face on it so they know it's not a faceless corporation. When I implemented this inside my dry cleaner route marketing business, sales increased, response rates increased, and retention increased. Why? People trust people. They don't trust anonymous cleaners. If your pickup and delivery van just has a company name, you are invisible. Let me give you an example. A big part of our way of getting route customers is with what's called a bag drop. Let me explain the bag drop, and then I'll share with you how personality marketing works with that. Okay? How a bag drop works. We drop off a bag, a regular bag with your logo on it, and we put it in a 4-page sales letter, okay? And we hang it on people's doors. Now, on that 4-page sales letter is, let's talk about mine, a picture of me smiling, okay? Standing next to my van, smiling. And the letter is from me. It's not from a corporation. It's not from Colosi's Cleaners. It wasn't from Colosi's Cleaners. It's from me personally. So, some of my clients, dry cleaners like you, didn't want to put their face on their bag drop letter. So when I first did this, I didn't have the controls that I have now, okay? I write that letter for you. I put your face on it. I make sure it is there, okay? So, I had one guy put his van up there, or like 3 vans he's got lined up instead of where his face should be. That letter bombed miserably, okay? Now, this happened in quite a ways. I might have had 100 of you dry cleaners using my system by then, so I knew that the bag drop letter worked, okay? I know it worked for me, but proof of the pudding is it going to work for someone else? and it bombed for him. I had someone else. He was a Hasidic Jew. You know, the Jews that got the curly Q sideburns? He didn't want to put his picture up there. Unbeknownst to me, he put photoshopped a pretty girl getting out of the van. Okay? It bombed miserably. Oh, the other one with the van, I said, put your face on it. Let's do that. And it worked fine. Okay? I was getting about 5 for every 100 bags I dropped in neighborhoods, good neighborhoods, and we'll get into that later on, not on this but another video. I would get 5 route customers, okay? So I talked to the Hasidic Jew, for lack of a better word, okay? I'm just describing who he was. He thought people wouldn't buy from him because of the way he looked. And I found out most of his customers were his people. So I really laid into him for that. He put his face on there and sales took off, okay? Here is another one. This one is kind of sensitive. African American. First of all, didn't want to put his picture on there because he thought he wouldn't get as much sales. So I had a little chat with him. And I don't talk like this. I said, F those people that don't want to be your customers. You don't want them as customers anyway, okay? You don't want them as customers. And so I convinced him that he doesn't want those people as customers. But, you know, most people, 99% are sympathetic, okay? It doesn't matter what you look like, okay? If you're a good person and you do what you say you're going to do, they're going to do business with you, okay? So we had some Photoshop person in there. We switched it to his face and sales took off, okay? So don't be shy about putting your picture in there. Another reason, you might feel a little funny. My picture. After a while, here's what it feels like. I've been doing this since the 80s, okay? So here's what it feels like. I'm just a character of my company or my companies. And when I start another company, I've started 33 plus of them, I throw my picture immediately on everything because I know that people will gravitate towards a face, okay? A face. In fact, it reminded me of something I just started that I put the picture somewhere but not where I wanted it, okay? So I'm going to put it in both places. So it becomes like a cartoon character, okay? You just put your face on everything. Well, some of you might think, okay, what's that going to do to my family? Because I'm going to recommend you put your family on this bag drop letter. Let me tell you why, okay? Mine, I had at the time when I sold my business in 2017, my wife and I were holding our granddaughter, okay? And if you can bring a baby in or a dog, I don't know about cats. Cats will probably work if you're a cat person, but we're dog people, okay? So a child, let me tell you what happened. Steve in Atlanta, Georgia, okay? He just put himself on. I said, try it. And he was open to things, okay? So I said, try it with your wife. Sales ticked up. Had a baby. Try it with your baby. Sales ticked up. He had a dog. Throw the dog in. Unbelievable. From just him to the picture with the wife, the baby, it was 2 babies by then, and the dog doubled his response rate, okay? Those kinds of things tell people you are just like them, okay? You're a family person. You have hopes. You have dreams, just like them. You have challenges, just like them. And they can relate to you. Not to a faceless corporation. They can relate to you, and that's why they do business with you, okay? If I haven't convinced you, leave a comment down in I should do a whole thing on just putting your face everywhere. Maybe I will, okay? But leave a comment down below. Greg, I'm still skeptical. Help me out. And I'll help you out. Okay? So, system number 2, let customers know who you are. Customers want to know what you stand for, your philosophy, your standards, your family. We talked about that, your values. Think of your best neighbor. You trust them, you like them, you know them. They want to look at you as their neighbor. Neighborly. Be neighborly. And I wrote this sales letter. By the way, I tested it over, 3 or 4 months. Actually, the total testing was like 8 months to really tweak it. But anyway, you write and you act like you're sitting across the kitchen table from your neighbor, okay? So it's a neighborly type letter. System number 3, make yourself the brand, okay? Most cleaners brand the service. Smart operators brand themselves. In dry cleaner route marketing, the owner becomes the anchor. You are the story. You are the guarantee. You are the personality. Especially in pickup and delivery, trust matters more than coupons. And I got a video on couponing that I'm going to do also. For it, mostly against it, especially in the route business, okay? I mean, these people, you get on the route, okay, are in it. I mean, price is way down on the list, okay? Quality is number 1. Showing up when you say you are and picking up and delivering when you say you are, taking care of their spots on their garments, those all come way before price. So I wouldn't recommend couponing at all on your routes, okay? When customers feel like they know you, they refer, they stay longer, they forgive small mistakes. That's how you stabilize revenue in your dry cleaning business. Inside my newsletter, I go deeper into this. I give you exact templates, sample letters with your photo placement. I don't give you the bag drop letter. Let me be upfront about that. That is the, what do we want to call that? Okay. I mean, that I spent 18 months of my life and my whole life, because I used to be a copywriter, developing that. Okay. Anyway, but you can still get a lot of route customers without that. And I'm showing you ways to do that. Okay. Retention scripts. YouTube is surface level. The full dry cleaner route marketing system, most of it, except for that, lives in the newsletter. And baby, serious operators only. Okay, if you're treating this as a hobby, don't even watch the rest of this video or any more of my videos, okay? Personality marketing builds trust. Trust increases route customers. Visibility strengthens your dry cleaning business. Branding yourself improves pickup and delivery retention. Stronger connection equals stronger dry cleaner route marketing results. Competition is tight. Margins are tight. Weak operators hide behind logos. Strong operators lead from the front. If your dry cleaning business feels stagnant, start with personality market. Make sure and check out in my description a link to get this newsletter. It is free. 3 weeks out of the month it's free, and then I go into an in-depth in my newsletter, and I give what I call a swipe file. You just get it, and you can copy and paste and add in your pertinent information. Okay, so in the video description below, click that link, and it's free to sign up. Okay, there's always a free newsletter. Thanks, and hey, make it a great day. Bye-bye.